Ta-da. Good morning, children of God. Good morning. What a wonderful day it is. Good to have you all here with us. I found this and went, here's a truth. God did not make any imitations. All his works are originals. Welcome to the originals. Too much fun. I'll tell you what let's do. Let's stand, join together, and sing in the silence. In this moment, love is here. Peace is here. Truth is here. God is here. And we take a moment and acknowledge his presence moving in and through us this day. This day, we choose to be open, receptive, responsive, and obedient to his instruction and guidance this day. We are grateful for the opportunity to come together, to worship, to sing, and to pray in the name, in the nature, in the power of the Christ. Amen.
Today's daily word is self-care, and Shula is going to share that with us this morning.
I care for myself and feel at peace. Being there for others is an important part of my life. But how often do I take time to care for myself? In the busyness of life, the person I may be neglecting is me. Jesus knew the importance of caring for oneself. He advised us to take time to rest and pray. Prayer is beneficial on a spiritual, physical, and mental level. In prayer, I pause, relax, and breathe deeply. I let go of doing for others and embrace the peace of being with God. In these precious moments, I feel renewed and empowered. My body and mind are vehicles to express spirit in the world. Thus, I make self-care a top priority. I commit to resting, relaxing, and taking time to pray. As I care for myself, I am present to God. My presence will go with you, and I will give you rest. Exodus 33:14.
Being silly is part of being alive, I think. And being joyful is part of being alive, and looking for the joy in circumstance regardless. And one of the ways you get to that point in living, and it's not easy, by the way, people look at you like you're not wrapped too tight, you just kind of go, yay. But the way you get to that point is you really settle into who you are. And the more you verbalize who you are, and the more you stay within that structure, the more your world changes, and it begins with this. Let's take our affirmation together. I am a child of the living God. I have within me the all-creating power of the Christ. It radiates from me and blesses all whom I contact. I am now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. I am now in the presence. Let's rest, breathe, and join with Steve. The Father and I are one. From your heart now. And having stilled my body, gently now, easily, effortlessly, I quiet my mind as I move to that place in consciousness, that place within you that Jesus called your inner closet. It is your secret place. It is that place where you affirm and know the Father and I are one. I breathe. And as I enter in, I close the door on those thoughts and feelings of what I should have done. I close the door on those thoughts and feelings of what I have yet to do this day, and for one holy moment, I rest. And I listen. For in my prayers I have learned to ask, believing, and here in the stillness, in the silence, answers come. Perhaps for you this day, a word, a phrase, a song. Regardless of how it arrives to you this day, know these gifts come to you wrapped in love. This day, in this moment, choose to reach out and say yes. I accept these gifts, these blessings. I immerse myself in them. And as I do so, each and every cell of my being responds. In this moment, I am whole and free. In this moment, re-energized, revitalized, renewed, I am blessed. And I'm grateful. And from this place of gratitude comes the knowing that I am a channel through which good flows into my world. This day, in this moment, I choose to open that channel. From me, through me, flows into my world that which is needed in this moment. Flowing into this place, touching each and every one of God's children. I am blessed. I choose to be a blessing. This flow continues from me, through me, from this place into our community, wherever that may be this day. Touching each and every one of God's children. In this moment, I am blessed. I choose to be a blessing from me, through me, across our city, across our state, touching each and every one of God's children. In this moment, love is there, peace there, truth is there. I am blessed. I continue to be a blessing from me, through me, across our country, around our world, touching each and every one of God's children, whether they realize it or not. Good is there. Love is there. And in this knowing, I am blessed. From me, through me, across our universe, and here in the stillness, I remember, in truth, in spirit, we are never separate one from the other. Here in the stillness, in the silence, I know somewhere, someone is saying thank you for the gifts that you have sent from you, through you, are gratefully received. And in this moment, I am grateful, and that gratitude swells up and returns to you. In this moment, whole and complete, I breathe. I rest, affirming our oneness for one holy moment. Knowing there is more yet for me to do this day, gently and easily, I bring my attention back to this now, to this place. I hold to this experience we have shared and join with you and pray as Jesus, our elder brother, has taught us when he said, "As for you, pray therefore in this manner." For the back row. Gentlemen, start your engines. No, I'm just kidding. That's what's going on here, right? I find it interesting that when I read things, particularly written turn of the century, early 20th, 21st century, I can't remember what century it is, whatever, a long time ago, old stuff, that I think is new, and the language is a little strange, and I have to convert, and that's kind of what the title today is "Be Thou With Me." We don't use a whole lot of thou and these in our common day language. Now, some of us do. And if you do, good. It's just not me. I just don't use that one, so I had to convert it just a little bit. But the premise of the work that I was studying at the time goes something like this. We forget that we are one with our Father at all times. We think we have to walk alone. I can handle it, right? And so we take off down our road and then wonder sometimes why things aren't going so well. Now, that may not happen for you, but it happens to me on a pretty regular basis. But I'm getting better at saying, wait a minute. I need to walk in the truth. I need to walk in the presence all the time. And that's what this is really about when I talk about be thou with me, is I want to walk in the presence this day. Now, to do that doesn't take a whole lot of effort. Why? Closer than the air you breathe, closer than your hands and feet. All you have to do is open your eyes. For those of you who haven't read the Gospel of Thomas, find a copy and read it. For a couple of reasons, and one of them is that most every phrase that Thomas uses ends with, let he who has ears hear, let he who has eyes see. And sometimes we forget that too. We need to listen, and we need to open our eyes and see, and then we need to get out and go. Schuler was mentioning earlier about prayer and prayer working. Prayer does work, and we know it works, but our prayers, as a rule, are giving voice to, for those of you who don't pray out loud, try it. It's just kind of fun. You don't need to do it in a crowded room. Or you can if you want to. People look at you a little weird, but it's okay. You know. And if you're really loud, they really look at you strange, but that's okay. But what I want to do is I want to give power to the word. Here's why. Things begin in thought, in mind, yes? I then attach feelings, and then I give the power of my word, and then I need to take the next step, which is action, to get demonstration, to bring it into my world. And sometimes we forget that last piece too. So, dear Lord, I would like peace on earth, but I'm going to have a war going on here. No, doesn't work. If you want peace on earth, where does it need to start? Feel free to go, oh, that would be right here. And what I mean by that is what? Peace at what? I want to get the conflicts that are going on in this into harmony, to balance. One of the questions I got asked on Wednesday, for those of you who have the opportunity, please plan to join us on Wednesdays at 11 o'clock. We do the Silent Unity Prayer Service first, and then at 11:30 we have what we call a metaphysical Bible discussion, and I put that in quotes because it is definitely metaphysical. It's not always the Bible, but it's always a discussion. Because you see, this work is about you and how you grow and you stretch, and it's about what experiences you are going through and how they work. So when Shula says to me, I'm telling you prayer works because, then she tells you a story how she has seen prayer work in her life. And we've talked about that a lot, and we give some tools to work with, which is part of what we're doing today, on how to make that work as well. And one of the questions I got asked is, why do you think you had a stroke a year ago? And I did, for those of you who don't know. I just went over a year on the 28th of December, spent 3 days with our friends in Providence, and been on the road to recovery since then, which is an interesting statement by the definition, but anyway, it's been a little over a year. Why did we go through that? What's with that? Why not? It was something to do. No. Hint, don't do that if you don't have to. But if you do, know this, that you have the capability, the ability to move through any circumstance. And that's part of the lesson for me, was getting back into balance, to remembering that these thoughts and feelings that I have, I control them. It's my word. It never occurred to me to say, oh, I'm done. This didn't occur to me. I'm not done yet. How do I know? Everybody want to test? Here it comes. Ready? First, part one. Ready? Good. Part two. Do you have a pulse? If the answers to both of those are yes, you're not done. on this experience and demonstration. You got a ways to go yet. Oh, by the way, you get to choose. And that's what we talked about too, is choosing what life with a capital L is going to be about for me. What things am I going to let go that are no longer true for me? Well, try this one on. Rob, you have an injury in your brain. There's a little block up there. Those cells are all dead. And Rob said, and? Well, the whole left side of your body doesn't work like it's supposed to. I went, oh, not true. And my doctor went, okay. Well, just for the sake of argument, let me tell you that that's what I think. And I went, yes, it is, and I understand that. And thank you. But it's not true. It's not dead. It's not paying attention. Why? Because there's a block in the system. That's all. Guess what? I'm only using 10% of this anyway, if my scientific brethren are correct. I got another 90 points to play with. We'll just reroute. And in essence, that's what's going on. We're rerouting. Which does, somebody asked me, oh, that's kind of like a cat having 9 lives, just 10% at a time. No. What I'm learning how to do is reroute. What I'm learning, and so part of the reason, for me, part of the reason I'm going through this experience is not to only be able to tell you that your thoughts matter, but that you control your environment with your thoughts. That you can reprogram this. But you got to get over the fear. And as much as I like to stay on the positive side of things, duh, I have people tell me all the time, if you got any more positive, it's just not fair. Yeah, it is. But you have your good days and your not so good days. I remember the first time after I came home and finally decided I could get up and go hit a golf ball. I had an opportunity to be afraid. I could not see the ball fly. I could not see the ball fly. P.S. It did not stop me from hitting the next one. I'll hear when somebody hollers, ow! No. I was at the driving range. My point is I had an opportunity to live in fear and said, no. This is temporary. This circumstance is temporary. And I'll get through it. How? By asking a question, making a statement. Be thou with me this day. These are my feet, walk with me. These are my eyes, let me see. And each day better and better and better. My golf game didn't get any better, but now I can see the ball most of the time. Friday I hit one, I had no idea where it went. I was playing with Michael, who's not here today. I said, where did it go? He said, I saw it hit that tree. Yay. So sometimes you don't see, but I'm not afraid. See, I took away the fear piece. Oh no, I took that away. Let it go. See, I know who's in charge of my thinking. I am. And I can change this body temple based on how I think, how I feel, knowing I'm not by myself. I am never alone. I am always all one. For those of you who want to play with that word, A-L-O-N-E, all one. But I need to ask. See, one of the things people forget in praying, and I find this really strange, but it's true. In praying, forget to ask. Because they don't know what they're asking for. So we're learning how to ask. And in our discussions on Wednesday, we talk about pulling back the appearance and getting underneath it and taking a look at it. What is it that I really want in my life? Okay, so using my experience, what is one of the things I really want? Well, balance would be good. Just say it, you know. It's not fun when you try to do that and your body goes do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. So you breathe and you just say, okay, making the parts work. This is a challenge, by the way, touching your thumb to your fingers. If this is asleep or just not connected, say, so you learn every day.
We always knew you weren't connected.
I've been telling people for years, you're not all here. No, I'm not. We're reconnecting the parts. That's right. But I'm not alone, and I'm not by myself, and that's the point, more than anything else, is that I know, with a capital K, I know, that when I am willing to open up, that the Christ moves with me, from me, in me. I am, in that moment, one with the truth of my being. And in that is perfection. Sometimes I need to remind myself, God is all, both visible and invisible. This one that is all is perfect life, love, intelligence, and substance. Man is, therefore I am, one with this perfect life, love, intelligence, and substance. Being one with, I then have the choice on how to demonstrate that, regardless of the circumstance. But sometimes we need to remember who we are to get there. Sometimes things will show up in your life and you'll go, I didn't ask for that. No, you probably didn't. But it showed up anyway. Why do you think stuff shows up? Which was part of this question. Why do you think it showed up? Well, part of my answer, and it's not done yet. How do I know? I gave you the answer to how do I know. Ready? Yep, so far so good. I'm not done yet. There's still more learning to go on for me. Different steps to take. There are connections we need to make, you and I. I don't know what they are yet. Other than this, I know they're good. So I begin my practice by working with what Jesus taught me. Love one another, even as I have loved you. Love one another, even as I have loved you. Now, to do that, you need to take a step before it. And that is, you need to love you. See, there's no doubt in my mind that the person, the human being on the planet that Jesus loved best was Jesus. And then everybody else came second in order or whatever. Why? Because he knew how to expand it. See? And that's what you and I have the opportunity to do now. Breathe. Take a picture. It's a picture of you, right where you are, right here, right now. All your experiences, everything that brought you to this point in time. And this may be a challenge, but I want you to try anyway. Every experience that brought you to right here, right now, and to that, say this: I love you. Together? I love you. Breathe. Every experience that brought you to this moment. Breathe. I bless you. Together. I bless you. To every experience, to every circumstance that brought you to this moment, I appreciate you. Together. I appreciate you. Breathe. To all of God's children, including this one, touching yourself. In this moment, I behold the Christ. Together. I behold the Christ. And in that moment, have no doubt, God is here. Namaste.
Thank you for listening. Please feel free to pass this message along to your friends and family. You can obtain additional audio tapes or CDs by visiting our website or by calling our office at 541-772-6902. We invite you to join us in prayer. We know that prayer works, and now you can send your prayer request to our prayer team here at Christ Unity Church by using the form on our website. The activities, programs, and services of this ministry are presented on a love offering basis. All gifts, regardless of size, are gratefully accepted. You may participate either by sending your gift to Christ Unity Church, 540 North Holly Street, Medford, Oregon, 97501, or by visiting us on the internet at www.unitymedford.org.